Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GT3 World Series. As you can see, it's a very overcast Monza, and I'm in the starting box with Jeff. What's happening, fellas? And and we shall see how these boys get on. After the sprint race, obviously the top 8 get reversed for the feature. So starting on pole is Gary in the Corvette. In second we have Welly in the VW Beetle. In third we have Benji in another Corvette. In fourth we have Aaron in the Supra. Not Supra, FT1. In fifth, and a great result for his first race with the League 2 guys, is Digi in the Peugeot. In sixth place we have Blackie in the Supra. In seventh we have Surfer in another Supra. In eighth, and the race winner from the sprint race is Ice, driving the Dodge. In ninth place we have Vroom Vroom in the Peugeot. In 10th we have Golden Brownie in the Mercedes. In 11th place we have Roadrunner in another Mercedes, and in 12th place we've got Molson in the third Mercedes, so all three in a row here for the feature. In 13th place we have Fast JMS in the Corvette, and in 14th, the only Jag on the grid is Bazza. See where Bazza can end up after a not too good sprint race. So let's get these guys underway for the 40 minutes around Monza. Obviously both tyres are required. Soft sand mediums, away we go. Benji gets a jump start there off the line, but it looks like he's going to be able to hold most of his position coming down to turn 1 or chicane 1. Looks like we're just keeping it too wide at the moment, so we'll keep it very clear. Everyone goes very deep, nowhere really for anyone to go. They're all just piled up through, but Vroom Vroom's lost out a few places there, but everyone's got through. But Ice, now how has Ice done that? He started in 8th. Let's just go from the front, start. He gets a cracking drive, gets past 3 guys before the braking zone. Brakes earlier than everyone else, and just gets it through the apex with everyone else cutting the first chicane, and away goes Ice. So that is all the doctor ordered for Ice in the first chicane, 8th to 1st. You couldn't ask for a better start. Gary there going side by side with Blackie around turn 3 up towards the second chicane. Looks like Gary's going to keep the inside line there. Just pan through to make sure there's no... Oh, Molson's lost it. How did Molson lose it? Let's have a look. On board. Oh, a bit of a concertina effect there from the guys going through the second chicane. Molson's the unfortunate one to come out of that one. Stopped himself right to the back of the pack. A couple of seconds now behind Vroom Vroom in 13th, but as we've already said, Ice, he's already checked out from Gary. He's on the racing softs as well, so he's going to absolutely love being on them softs. Is Ice and clean air, no one to fight with. Gary there, Blackie, Aaron in 4th, Welly's in 5th. Fast JMS, he's worked his way up from, I think it was 13th on the grid, so Fast JMS has a cracking first opening lap as well. Picks himself a half-second penalty. Benji in 7th, Digi in 8th, so not too bad for Digi. Surface in 9th, so he's dropped a couple of places. Looks like he's gone for a move up the inside of Digi. Did they push someone wide? They pushed Benji wide, it looked like, but I think we might call that to lap 1 incident between them guys, all being fairly close. Roadrunner in 9th, Benji knocked down to 10th now. Buzzers on his way up to 11th. Vroom in 12th. Molson 13th. Golden Brownie in 14th. I'm not going to pan back, I know what happened. I hit Roadrunner into the back of Molson on the second chicane, so I dropped back to give my place to Molson for the incident. Ice there. Ice ain't going to get much coverage if you're out in front. No one to fight with, but Gary, he's dropped down a couple of places there. So Aaron has worked his way up to 2nd place now, fighting with Blackie into the second chicane. It looks like he keeps ahead of him as well, so will Aaron be able to catch up to Ice? I don't think he will. He's on the race in medium, so they are about a 1.5 seconds slower a lap than the softs, but at least he can try and reduce the deficit when they change to the opposite tyres. Lucky there in 3rd, Gary 4th. Fast MS is going to have to serve that penalty this time round, so Welly and Surfer could pick up a place when Fast MS takes that penalty after Ascari. But Surfer's gone side by side with Welly, gets the move done. It's a brave move, you've got to trust the other person on the outside. And the person on the outside is going to have trust in you. So where's Fast MS? Fast MS has lost to Surfer, and he's lost a place to Welly. I think Digi's a bit too far back to make any move. He does go up the inside. Looks like he just missed his braking point. Runs it a little bit deep. Fast JMS cuts back up the inside and stays in 7th place. Bazza works his way up to 9th place now, just ahead of Roadrunner. Well, that Roadrunner's trying to give him a bump there, but using every bit of that slipstream he can. But that Jag, we know it is a quick car in a straight line, so it's going to be hard to overtake down the 2 straights for that Mercedes of Roadrunner. Benji's dropped down to 11th place now, but it looks like he's got a drive coming out of the first chicane on Roadrunner, and Welly's fighting with Benji up ahead as well. So jump forward to see if Bazza's absolutely launched out of that first chicane, coming up the inside of Welly. Sticks his nose in, gets it done. Up to 8th place is Bazza. So doing well so far as Bazza from the back of the grid. Got about 6 places so far. Roadrunner there, vroom. Oh, who's that in the wall? Talk of the devil, saying he's doing really well, and he's gone and binned it into the wall. What did Bazza do? Did he get on the Astro on the outside? He did. Luckily the car stayed in a fairly straight line, and he was able to recover it fairly quickly, but he's dropped all the way from 8th now down to 12th with damage. Trying to wiggle to get the dirt off the tyres. Golden Brownie's got ahead of Molson. So the 2 Mercedes at the back here, see what they can do, both on the medium tyres as well. So they're not going to be not going to catch up to the back of the pack fairly quickly. But Ice, he has pulled out a substantial lead. I'll see how big it is only after 3 laps when he crosses the line, and Aaron does. I know Aaron's on the mediums, goes fastest at 39.3. So when Aaron crosses the line, about 5 or 6 seconds already after 3 laps. So absolutely incredible stuff there from Ice. Aaron has pulled away from Surfer, who's got past Blackie. But Blackie is on the mediums, where all the other guys at the moment around him are on the softs. Surfer and Gary are. I don't know about Fast MS. Fast MS is on the mediums as well. So is Digi, but Fast MS got a bit of a slow exit out of the chicane, so he's now got Digi on the inside. Around turn 3, Digi pulls in front. Now he's going to defend. Coming up to the second chicane is Digi, and it looks looks like Blackie hasn't got past Gary, but they're all bottling up behind Gary at the moment. Benji puts it into the gravel on the exit of the chicane, but no changes there between Gary, Blackie, Digi and Fast JMS for that 4th place, which is just going to let Surfer slowly pull away nicely ahead. Welly Bub sitting pretty in 8th at the moment. Got no one around him to really fight, so he can just kind of slowly try and get into his rhythm and see if he can catch up to 4 guys in front fighting. Roadrunner and Benji coming side by side into Ascari. Benji's got him round the outside. Through they go. Bazza and Golden Brownie have caught up to the back of these guys as well. Vroom there in 11th. So you've got a 4-way battle, Welly in the middle, and then you've got a 5-way battle here for 9th place. But Roadrunner goes up the inside of Benji, runs it deep. Benji's on the inside, but I think Roadrunner might have this one with the drive round the outside. He may be behind at the moment, but he could potentially get past him. No, Benji keeps it up going on the inside. It looks like Roadrunner's got the draft and pulled alongside Benji into the first chicane. Bazza there, he's got past Vroom, so the speed of that Jag really helping out. Golden Brownie trying to set up the old switcheroo on Vroom there, it looked like, as well, in the background, or foreground at the time. Bazza in up to 11th now, so he's gained 1 more place since the little incident he had. But Benji and Roadrunner going side by side into the 2nd chicane. It's not advised to be still side by side through the 2nd chicane, but giving each other racing room and blocking the path before Bazza. He's trying to look past, but it's just nowhere to go for him at the moment. But it is slowing these 2 guys down, which is allowing everyone behind to catch up. Golden Brownies did get past Vroom there, so he must have got kept it round the outside into the 2nd chicane, but it looks like Vroom's coming back at him down the straight towards Ascari, which he does. He gets past. Roadrunner and Benji, they are still just line astern at the moment. We'll go forward. Welly's got up to 7th, so Welly just needs to get into his groove and he would catch up, and he did. So Welly up to 7th, Gary in 6th, Digi up to 5th at the moment. So far for Digi after nearly 10 minutes of racing. A great start for him. Aaron is in the pits. He's had enough of them mediums. He wants to get rid. So that's promoted Surfer up to 2nd place with Ice about 10 seconds ahead from Surfer at the moment. So Ice, as I say, being at the front on your own, you will get coverage of when you where you are, but when you've not got anyone to battle with, obviously, especially now with people coming into the pits, you will see where the strategy comes later on in the race. But Digi up to 3rd now, so he got past Blackie down the start-finish straight, it seems. So that Peugeot seriously got something about it with the pace. I thought it was just a handling car, but Digi's been able to extract every bit of horses out of that. Gary there in 5th, got Welly Bob behind him in 6th, Fast JMS in 7th, Bazza in up to 8th now, so I know Aaron has pitted, so he's made 1 free space up there. Don't run it out twice on the Astro, Bazza, you don't want to do the same thing again. Looks like there's a change. Look at this 4-way battle for 4th. So 2x2 coming into Ascari. They all get through. Looks like they'll get through nicely there. Coming onto the back straight. Will Fast JMS have a look up the inside of Welly? Obviously, Welly's going to have the slipstream from Blackie up ahead. So it's going to be a little bit harder to try and catch up. But Fast JMS goes up the inside of Welly into Parabolica. Gets it done. Does Welly try and get the inside line out? Looks like he tries, but he just can't get it done. Is Blackie coming in the pit? Looks like he is. So that's Blackie in as well. So 4-way battle down to 3 now. People are getting rid of their mediums and trying to go to the end of the race on the softs. Looks like we're going to go 3 wide into the first chicane. Fast MS backs out of it. Gary goes round the outside of Welly, but can't get it stopped. Fast MS just gets tagged as he's coming through. It's allowing Bazza to catch up to the back of these. Gets a drive out. Looks like he's going to get round the outside of Welly. No, he's not. Gary just gets in the way of Bazza's run out of the first chicane. Down towards the second chicane we go. Bazza and Gary side by side. Roadrunner's just looking behind, watching all these guys fighting. And there's a barrier in the way, but it's been knocked out by Bazza. But Gary up to 4th now, with Fast Jims going deep into the second chicane. So Bazza's looking from one Corvette to another. So it's really packed this middle pack up now. You see the front 3 on the mini map are just well away. Like Digi is absolutely loving this. He's pulled a nice gap over Gary over the last 2 or so laps since he got there. Surfer still second, Ice in first. Go down to the back. Where has Aaron come out? Aaron's come out in 11th place. But he has come out on the softs. Who was that? Roadrunner. What's Roadrunner doing? Looks like he's having a spinning time coming out of Ascari. Just gets a kick off the curb. Coming out nearly a full 360. Ends up just doing a 180. And yeah, now he's going to end up being parked in the middle of the track. Here comes Blackie. Just misses him. Golden Brownie as well. Golden Brownie's pit as well. He's on the softs, and it looks like Molson has as well. So yeah, Golden Brownie and Molson, Blackie and Aaron are the ones to pit at the moment. Welly Bob's just coming in to the pit. He's getting rid of his medium. So all the medium runners are coming in fairly early of the race. Putting in a little bit of fuel just to make sure he's going to get to the end of the line, but it's going to be a drag race, it seems. No, Golden Brownie's got ahead of Welly. So we're coming in early for Golden and not getting in all that action. We've gained a couple of places. Obviously Roadrunner down there after that spin out of Ascari. He's still got to pit. Getting a bit hairy. Obviously dirty tyres. It takes quite a while around this track because there's not many corners, to be fair. It's a lot of straights. Molson down in 14th currently. But I'm sure now being on the softs to be able to light them up and catch up to the guys up ahead who are all fighting, which we will jump back to see how this is all progressing. Aaron's catching up to the back of him. He's in 9th now after Welly made his pit. You've got Gary there, Bazza, Fast MS, Benji, Vroom Vroom, Aaron, all within about 2.5-3 seconds of each other as they come through Ascari for the 8th time. And down the back straight towards Parabolica. They have all kind of just slowly spread out, but this is the fight here for 6th between Benji and Fast MS. Benji just stays behind, thinks about getting a better exit out of Parabolica, which Fast MS goes out wide. That's their mediums just not giving him the grip, and picks up another half-second penalty. It's not what you want around this track because you lose about a whole second once you've served it. But Benji's not been able to catch up to Fast MS, but he does go to the inside into the first chicane. No, he backs out of it. Thinks better of it. Probably thinks if I just stay behind him, I'll get past him when he serves that penalty. Near the end of the lap, Aaron up to 8th, sets the fastest lap of the race, 48.7. So using them softs to his advantage to try and bridge that gap to Ice. But obviously Ice is on the soft, so Ice will probably go in a fairly long time before he thinks about coming into the pit. It's Digi in 3rd, Surfer 2nd, Ice in 1st, who's got about 14 seconds now over Ice, so absolutely blazing pace there from Ice, but he is going to have to pit, I would say about lap 18. say 15 to 18 for Ice, looking at his tyre wear. I think he'll probably get to about 25 minutes or so into the race. Surfer really saving them tyres. That's the thing, when you're on your own you can save them a bit more, you're not having to fight all the time in the dirty air. Obviously Digi running them mediums quite a long time, I would say. Obviously he did set his fastest last lap round, 49.6, so about 9 tenths slower than the fastest lap currently. Gary there in 4th, Bazza just behind him in 5th. Tyre wear for them too. Bazza's still on the mediums as well, so when's Bazza going to be coming to split? Not this lap. Benji and Aaron. So yeah, Fast MS has served that penalty and he's now behind these two. Looks like Aaron's got the pace on Benji. Probably got the drive out of Parabolica and just get power on earlier than Benji could, and just sailed on past down the start finish straight. So that's Aaron up to 6th place. He's making light work of getting through the field currently. Fast CMS in 8th, Vroom Vroom in 9th place, still on the mediums as well. So either the car burns through its softs, or they're just thinking that the mediums will just give them a better pace long term. Blackie there in a fight with Golden Brownie for 10th place at the moment. Obviously both these two have pitted for softs. Blackie set his fastest lap last time around, both nose to tail. Golden picked up a half-second penalty through that. That's going to drop him off from the back of Blackie when he comes down the back straight. Welly there in 12th. He did run their mediums a little bit longer than Golden to come up just behind. Roadrunner in 13th, still got to pit as well. Molson there in 14th. Yeah, it will come back to him. That is the thing about these races. You may feel like you are out of it only 18 minutes into the race, or to be fair, it was lap 2, I think it was, either lap 1 or lap 2 that he had the incident. No, it was lap 1, wasn't it? Chicane 2 with Golden Brownie, so he could come back to this when everyone else has pitted. Bazza and Benji come into the pit. I think there was another one as well, Vroom Vroom as well. So I think Digi is the only... Oh no, Fast MS is on the mediums that hasn't pitted. So yeah, Digi and Fast MS are the only two on mediums that haven't pitted. So not too sure what their strategy is at the moment. But obviously the soft runners will be going as long as they can until their tyres are red, which Ice's tyres are. It's really getting there. I don't think he's probably get to about lap 15. I would think. I think 18 was a bit too optimistic. So yeah, lap about 15 I think for Ice. And I'm looking at this, probably be a 22 lap race. With Ice's pace he might get to 23. It does depend on when the checkered flag comes out. But Ice has still got about 13-14 seconds over Surf, so Surf has been able to neutralise that gap currently. Obviously where the tyre wear is different, just been able to catch up. Digi there, he's not running that bad at times. Getting into the 49s on mediums is some pretty decent pace, I would say. Who else was on the mediums now? So Fast MS, he's not been able to get into the 49s at all. As fast as is a 50.6. So yeah, that Peugeot's definitely got something about it on their medium tyres. But Aaron there, he's looking at the rear end of Gary for that 4th place. Gary has still yet to pit, I believe. Yeah, Gary's still got to pit. So Aaron's pretty much a whole pit stop ahead of Gary at the moment. Fast MS comes into the pit finally. So Digi's the last guy on the mediums to pit. Obviously the soft guys will have to change the mediums, but Aaron gets it done coming into the first chicane. Just the drive of that FT1, which clearly outclasses the Corvette on pace. But now Aaron's got about 6 or 7 seconds to Digi up ahead. So Digi, Surfer and Ice have still got a pit. So I think Aaron will potentially come out in second place once they have pitted. Gary, I'm not too sure where Gary will come out when he's served, but Blackie there, he's pulled a bit of a gap over Golden, who's got Welly now catching up to the back of him, and Bazza as well. So these four all fairly close to one another, and this has a hell of a gap battle for 10th place with Vroom Vroom, Molson, Benji and Fast JMS. So there we go, Molson sticking with it. He's got himself up to 11th place with an early pit stop. Just got to make sure he makes them tyres last to the end, which I'm sure he will. But yeah, he's nearly at the front of this pack. He's just got Vroom Vroom up ahead, but we know that Peugeot from Digi is a quick car. Benji there, obviously with a 1 second penalty, sorry. So Fast JMS should get past Benji, unless Fast does something stupid through the Ascari, which looks like he keeps his nose clean. Does leave a bit of time. Benji has a really good Ascari there, gets right up to the back of Molson, but having to serve that penalty really hampers you. And Fast JMS does get past Benji now. So these two came in out lap, and Benji's all done as out lap. So there's only 1 lap tyre wear difference between the two of them, so they're pretty similar. Now obviously both in the same car. Roadrunner, he has just served his penalty as pit stop as well. So we've got a few guys potentially up ahead that need to still pit, I believe, but I'm not too sure where that will come out when they all have served their pit stop. We'll get my words out in a second. Ice there in first still, absolutely flying round. Tyres are nearly dead. I'd say you've probably got another 2 laps left before you kind of really do lose the grip. They only get to about halfway on this track, they really just drop off. You do notice the sliding around, but he does go round for another lap to start lap 14. Surfer there as well, coming round. He's set 48.9, so them tyres really are still giving him good grip for the lap. And a 48.8, just off the fastest lap of the race by 1/10 for Surfer. Digi, oh, he's coming to the pit. So Digi is the last of the medium runners to pit. So we've now got just under 16 minutes to see how long the soft runners will go until they have to come on the pit. But a lot of the guys have pit. So where's Digi going to come out? Digi's going to come out in 4th place. There's the guys behind battling for 5th. So Digi really made their mediums work well for him for the first part of the race. Now he's on the softs, he should be able to keep that distance to Blackie and the rest of the guys battling for this 5th place. Golden Brownie's up to the back of Blackie now, and Willy Bob just behind. Looks like a quite racy there, does Willy, coming out of the second chicane. So Golden Brownie's going to hug the inside, make Willy go around the long way. Golden just sticks it in the middle of the track. Bit of defending to make it really tricky for Welly into the second chicane. Doesn't get it done, but all jumping over the curb on the second part. Blackie's picked up a half-second penalty. That's not what Blackie wants when he's got 2 cars right behind him, and Buzzer not too far as well in the very fast Jag. But yeah, see where Ice comes into the pits. So Ice ended up doing 14. So will Surfer carry on going, or will Surfer come in as well? I think Surfer had enough tyres to go another couple of laps. Might try and push it to the minimum of the 3 required on the mediums, but here comes Blackie to serve his penalty. Looks like he's pulled enough of a distance over Golden. No, Golden gets past him up to Parabolica. Blackie slips in behind, so he only loses 1 place, does Blackie. quickly jump up where has ice come out. He's come out about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of Aaron. Surfer there still to pit. Golden's having to defend from Blackie, but here comes Blackie in the fast Supra. So Golden had nothing to do there to defend. No matter what he would have done, Blackie would have just sailed on past. So will he try another tactic to try and get past Golden? Looks like it's a bit too far around through Curva Grande. Buzzer's just on the slipstream range, I would say, from Welly. Gary there in 9th place. bit of a distance to Bazza up ahead. But with these guys fighting, as they're going too wide, it looks like up to Lesmo 1. Golden goes up the inside of Blackie. And he keeps ahead, but will he be able to keep it ahead coming down from Lesmo 2 to... No, he doesn't. He goes on the gravel and gets it just back on track. That's going to lose a place to Blackie, and I think Welly might have a look at this as well. Down to Ascari. And we'll go back to the back of the rest of the drivers at the back in a second. But Welly does get past Golden Brownie into Ascari, so Golden goes from 5th to 7th in just a couple of seconds, and Bazza's absolutely flown through Ascari to catch up to the back of Golden there. Let's have a look how he does it. Golden's gone a little bit wide, and Bazza's just absolutely put the power on and driven straight past Golden Brownie down the back straight. So that's Bazza up to 7th, Golden down to 8th now. Gary in 9th, just kind of seeing these guys all fighting up ahead, but obviously on the mediums it's going to be hard to try and catch up. Vroom Vroom there in 10th. With Molson just behind in 11th, Fast JMS not too far behind as well. Obviously he's dropped Benji. Benji's had a bad lap 14 of a 2 minutes, so he's lost about 10 seconds that lap. So it's given Roadrunner something to chase. Got that carrot dangling in front of him now of Benji. Quite ironic, he's running an orange car as well. That Surfer coming through Lesmo 2 for the 16th time. He's still got tyre wear left. He's only got just over 11 minutes of the race to go. And obviously looking at the timings, you need about 6 minutes left of the race, so he's only got a couple more laps till he has to come in. Ice there in 2nd on the mediums, and obviously Aaron's on the softs, but Aaron's really worked through his softs getting himself up to there, so will he be able to catch up to the back of ice in the last 11 minutes of the race? Digi there in 4th. Quite a lonely race for the moment for Digi, but I'm sure he's quite happy with that. Being in League 2 now. Blackie just ahead of Welly and Bazza, and Golden Brownie just watching behind. So let's have a look at these four as they come up the back straight down towards Parabolica. Bazza looks like on the inside of Welly. Looks like he's going to potentially have it done before Parabolica, which he does. Just snips up the inside, but Welly's got a good drive. Done the old cutback, gets back in front of Bazza. So Bazza's going to have to do it all again down towards the first chicane. Golden Brownie's just slipped off the Blackie there's just going to be pulling away a little bit with these two fighting, but Bazza does get back past Welly. Does Welly? Welly slips in behind. Doesn't want to fight it too much into turn 1 and 2. So Bazza's moved his way up to 6th place, so not too bad seeing he was at the back of on the start. Gary in 9th, Vroom, still got Molson just behind, and Fast JMS. Benji in 13th, still just ahead of Roadrunner, but Surfer, he's still going round. I reckon he's either going to come in this lap or the next, because think the end of the next lap, I think he's going to be really running it tight on getting the 3 laps required for running the medium tyres. Obviously, if you don't run them, you do get a penalty from the stewards, as it is mandatory to do so. So let's see if Surfer comes in this time round, or will he go round again? Looks like he's going to go round again, so surely he's got to come in at the end of the next lap. Ice there in second. What's the lap times? Aaron's been catching him. He's doing 49s, low ones, and Ice has just put in a 49, but so yeah, them two literally the same lap time, 49.7 last lap around. So Ice has finally got them tyres up to temperature and been able to match Aaron that lap round. Digi there with 49.0, so he is catching up to the back of them, but I think he's a bit too far behind with only 8 minutes of the race to go. Blackie has a big gap now to Golden Brownie. Where is Welly? Welly is there, so what's happened with Welly? He's parked it on the outside of Parabolica. Oh, he's had a hit with Bazza. No, where's Bazza gone? Where's Bazza? There's Bazza. So Bazza ahead of Blackie. Blackie's got a half second. So he goes to the outside. And oh, I think Welly's missed his braking point and sent Bazza straight on into the barrier. Front and rear damage for Bazza, and Bazza's left the race. Didn't think he probably could get on any further than that, with obviously the damage that he had. So unfortunate there for Bazza. He's having a cracking race. Surfer lap 18. I don't think if you don't come in this lap, I don't think he's going to be able to run their mediums, but it does look like Aaron is catching. There's only 3 seconds or so between the two of them, so it is really tight. I think Surfer is going to probably end up third once he served his penalty, because these two are fairly close behind him. Digi there in fourth, Blackie in fifth, now with a big gap to Golden Brownie after that incident between Welly and Bazza. So Golden Brownie's tyres have really died off, but I'm looking at the fuel. They're both fairly low on fuel. To be fair, most people are about the same. Surfer we know we've got to come in. He's the only one to do so. To be fair, they're all about the same mark on fuel. So if all about the same, they should all make it to the end without running out. But we shall see. Welly Bob's dropped down to 10th place now after the incident. Probably tried to wait for Bazza, but didn't come to it in the end. Benji there with a 1 second penalty in 11th. He's got road on a... What's happened with Molson? Molson's binned it. Molson binned it on lap 17. That's classic Molson, that is. So Roadrunner up to 12th place, Benji up to 11th. I think Molson was running in 10th. So Welly's got fast JMS just up ahead of him. See if he can use that Beetle to good use and catch up to him. Welly's coming into the pit, so he might not have enough fuel. This might be a little splash there for Welly. Vroom Vroom in 8th place. He's got Gary just up ahead. I don't know if they'll be able to catch up to him. Golden there in 6th. So Surfer, he's still not pitted. Is Surfer going to be able to do his 3 laps required? Blackie there in 5th. Digi in 4th. Still going quicker, 48.9. So light car, fairly fresh tyres, and getting close to the fastest lap. Aaron there. Still 3 seconds, so Surfer surely must be coming in. He's used all his fuel. He's flashing red. He does. So to see how many laps. He's got 6 minutes of the race to go, so he should be able to use all his tyres, but whilst everyone is a little bit spread out, let's jump on board with ice for a lap of Monza. Down the start finish straight towards the first chicane. Oh, excuse me. Just after the 150 mark, slam the brakes on, down to first gear, hit that curb. You don't want to hit that one too much, that's a big old sausage, and you blast it back out up towards Curva Grande. Long sweeping right hander, don't have to let off the throttle at all, just keep the power on, let the grip do all the work. Up towards the second chicane again, just after the 150, you slam the brakes on, drops down a second, cuts that first one, don't want to cut the second one too much, and then up towards Lesmo 1, as I'm sure some people call it Lesbo 1, and Lesbo 2, and then on to the, say first, so the back straights, with a little kink in the middle of it. And we're down the hill under the bridge of the old oval of Monza, and then again just before the 100, down to third, chuck it into the first part of the Ascari, the long right, which can unset your car, hit the apex on the outside. Is Ice having to it looks like he's trying to break Aaron's slip here. I wondered why he was dodging left to right down the back straight. Just after the 100, slam the brakes on into Parabolica, get it powered on early because this corner does open up, and on to the start finish straight again. But if you look behind, Aaron really isn't that far behind now. Surfer after surfing has come out in third, he is in the background, so there is only about, what was it, 2 seconds between Ice and Aaron, so Aaron's really putting the pressure on Ice now for this win. That'll be interesting to see when he really does catch up to the back of him. So Surfer in third, he's on the medium, so he's done 1 lap, he's now on lap 2. I think he's gonna get his 3 laps required. Digi there in 4th, Blackie in 5th, fuel lights on, so he should have enough. Golden's fuel lights on as well, so these two are potentially going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving maybe to get to the end. Golden gets a great drive out of there, whereas Blackie now having to really fuel save to make it to the end. There is a little bit of fuel difference between the two of them. So Golden goes around the outside into 5th place. Gary there, his fuel light's on as well. Vroom Vroom's isn't, so is Gary going to have to do a bit of fuel saving. Obviously he is in an American car, so I'm amazed it's been able to last this long on a tank of fuel. As far as it didn't only make 1 lap and he had to come in. Fast JMS in 9th place. Benji in 10th. He's still got Roadrunner dangling that carrot in front of him. Just can't seem to get ahead. Moulton in 12th. Welly, he's come out of the pit 4.5 minutes. So I don't know if Welly needed a little Welly wander. Just couldn't last the last couple of minutes to the end of the race. But back to the front. Both these two. Fuel light is flashing. They are on the last lap, so Surf, as long as he gets across the line, which he does, he has done his 3 laps required. Oh, Ice gets it a bit leery coming out of the first chicane, which is going to give Aaron a good drive. He is going to be in his slipstream now. Up round Curva Grande to the second chicane. A bit too far away for Aaron at the moment. Let's lift on board of Aaron. Goes purple as well in the first sector of the last lap with no tyres as well. This is Aaron's look at the back of Ice's car for the last lap. Just make sure he hits his apexes and exits. But will Ice just be able to hold on? Don't want to hit that grass. Put it on the center of the car. Looks like Ice, unless he has a bad Ascari, could have this race one and done. But yeah, we've got 5 seconds left, so this is the last lap of the race. Looks like some people are parked on the line. Molson, he will come across to finish in 12th place. Welly will come across the line to finish in 13th. Icy's had a good Ascari, so he's kept that distance ahead of Aaron. So he's just got to have one more corner as Ice. He's got the tyres to do it. Has he got the fuel? He gets on the power, comes out the last corner. Aaron's getting it all sorts of sideways, but he's got no tyre wear left. Ice, absolutely incredible win from 8th to 1st on the first corner. Aaron in 2nd. Surfer with a very unusual strategy, but does the 3 required on his mediums for 3rd. Digi comes along in 4th. Golden Brownie will come across the line in 5th. I will jump back to see where Blackie is. He's lost loads of places. He's not in the top 8 now. Has he run out of fuel? Golden's got no front left tyre left. Finishes in 5th. Vroom Vroom in 6th. Followed closely by Gary in 7th. Fast JMS in 8th. Blackie in 9th place. Really had to save the fuel there. Did Blackie on that last lap. Benji will come across to finish in 10th place. And Roadrunner comes round the last corner. Puts the power down. No one really finished with much fuel at all. But that is the feature race of Monza done. Obviously, if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and consider hitting the subscribe button. Help a man out to 50 subs. Thank you all much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.